The next 2 weeks on the series Hymns We Love, we'll be talking about the most beloved hymns of the 19th century. Hello, Christ Church. Today on our series Hymns We Love, we're going to celebrate some of the most recognizable hymns of the 19th century. First hymn I'm going to talk about is Just As I Am by Charlotte Elliott. Charlotte Elliott's Just As I Am is one of the few hymns for which we know not only the author's story, but also the exact circumstances in which it was written. Her life was a testimony to patient endurance and suffering, not only physical, but also emotional and spiritual. This was the context in which she wrote this hymn, Just As I Am. As her nephew, the Reverend Hanley C.G. Moulet, recounted in 1897, quote, "But ill health still beset her. It often caused her the peculiar pain of seeming uselessness in her life, while the circle around her was full of unresting service ableness for God. Such a time of trial marked the year 1834, when she was 45 years old and living in the Westfield Lodge, Brighton. On a particular evening, she was kept awake by distressing thoughts of her apparent uselessness, but these thoughts passed by a transition easy to imagine into a spiritual conflict, till she questioned the reality of her whole spiritual life and wondered whether it were anything better than an illusion of the emotions, an illusion ready to be sorrowfully dissolved. The next day, the troubles of the night came back upon her with such force that she felt they must be met and conquered in the grace of God. She gathered up her soul, the great certainties, not of her emotions, but of her salvation, her Lord, His power, His promise. And taking pen and paper from the table, she deliberately set down in writing, for her own comfort, the formula of her faith. Charlotte Elliott had a heart which always tended to express its depths in verse. So, in verse, she restated to herself the gospel of pardon, peace, and heaven. It was her faith that gave her life purpose and transformed what would otherwise have been useless years into a lifetime of valuable service to Him who gave Himself for us. But they were never easy times. Of her afflictions, she once wrote, quote, "He knows, and He alone, what it is, day after day, hour after hour, to fight against bodily feelings of almost overwhelming weakness, languor, and exhaustion, to resolve not to yield to slothfulness, depression, and instability, such as the body causes me to long to indulge, but to rise every morning determined to take for my motto, if a man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me." Another time she wrote, "God sees, God guides, God guards me. His grace surrounds me, and His voice continually bids me to be happy and holy in His service, just as I am." Many people associate Just As I Am with the life and ministry of Billy Graham, as for years it was sung during altar calls at his crusades, and it also is the title of his autobiography. For our offertory anthem this Sunday, we are going to celebrate Horatio Spafford's "It Is Well With My Soul." Horatio Gates Spafford was born in New York on 20th October 1828, but it was in Chicago that he became well known for his clear Christian testimony. That is, life can be so unpredictable. Joys and sorrows, beautiful blessings and distressing difficulties can come unexpectedly. Our life's dreams and plans can change in an instant. We all know this to be true. So how can we find peace amid such turbulence? Horatio Spafford knew something about life's unexpected challenges. He was a successful attorney and real estate investor who lost a fortune in the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Around the same time, his beloved 4-year-old son died of scarlet fever. And then, in November of 1873, while crossing the Atlantic on the steamship Ville de Harvey, the vessel was struck by an iron sailing ship. More than 200 people lost their lives, including all 4 of Horatio Spafford's precious daughters. His wife, Anna, survived the tragedy. Upon arriving in England, she sent a telegram to her husband that began, quote, "Saved alone, what shall I do?" unquote. Horatio immediately set sail for England. At one point during his voyage, the captain of the ship, aware of the tragedy that had struck the Spofford family, summoned Horatio to tell him that they were now passing over the spot where the shipwreck had occurred. As Horatio thought about his daughters, words of comfort and hope filled his heart and mind. He wrote them down, and they have since become the well-beloved hymn. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to know, it is well with my soul. This hymn is absolutely a song of faith for the edification of a soul and also to glorify the Lord. The hymn is specifically called by historians as one of the most widely used hymns of consolation in modern Christianity. Perhaps we cannot always say that everything is well in all aspects of our lives. There will always be storms to face, and sometimes there will be tragedies. But with faith in a loving God and with trust in His divine help, we can confidently say, it is well with my soul. As always with our video series, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce or reintroduce members of the choir and worship team. I have three individuals I'd like to introduce to you today.
Hi, I'm Lisa Briscoe, and I've been at Christ Church for 15 years now. I have a son who is 13, Austin. He's involved with student ministry. And I also have a daughter, Allie, who is 11, and she's going to be in Club 56 this year. I also teach here at the preschool full-time, and I've been teaching here for the last 4 or 5 years and really enjoy it. I've been involved with Family Promise over the years and making meals and helping out with that organization. And I also sing soprano here in the choir. So it's a wonderful church, and there's so many ways to get involved.
My name is Jeannie Connors. I've been with the choir since 1998, over 20 years here at Christ Church. My children have enjoyed all of the things that they were involved in. They're all grown now, but they've spent plenty of time here in the church. They are away now. I haven't been involved in discipleship, Sunday school, a lot of the things that have really meant a lot to my family and I. I'm choir, I'm a soprano, and it's just a family unit that I really enjoy being a part of this church.
Hi, I'm Kina Panetta, and I have been at Christ Church for 20 years. Both my boys, James and Cameron, have grown up in the church. Through the years, I've been involved in so many things you can't imagine. Children's ministries when it was a little bitty church before we got the big sanctuary. And I've been in choir now. I'm the baby of the group, well, one of the babies of the group. Been here about 1.5 years, a few months before COVID hit. And I am in Bible study, Lagos, which is awesome. If you're looking for some place to go, come on down and join us. And I am an alto. So if you want to start singing and celebrating the Lord, bringing Jesus on, but even if you don't think you're that great, come on down. We're great, have a lot of fun, and you'll do awesome.
And finally, we're going to sing the hymn that we're going to celebrate at offertory, It Is Well With My Soul. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on Sunday.